to WillowWood, they get this sense of this is a family, a team, a group of people that are all going to be on my side and find a way for me to be happy and successful.
I'm Glenn Herbert, and I'm an editor with Our Kids. We're speaking with insiders from Canada's leading private schools to gain insights into their programs, culture, traditions, and leadership. This includes insights from parents, alumni, and administrators. This is the Our Kids Insider Perspective.
The big one is the interaction with the kids. Even though I'm an administrator, I've held on to things like coaching just because it's my way of staying in touch with the kids. So I still do coaching basketball. I still do, helping kids write their essays. It's funny because my background's in English. So the senior students will come to me to get help with their essays before they give them to their teachers. So that's one thing I really love, is that interaction with the kids is still there. The parents and being there for them, talking things through, working out a plan for their kids, how to that challenge of doing that is fantastic. And then of course this working with my staff. They're great people. They know how to get the most out of every situation, whether it's the kid they're dealing with or the resources they have or the building we have and the resources we have as a building. They just know how to do it, and working with them to make it better is fantastic. So that's the three prongs, right? Students, parents, and kids. So. I've been here most of my teaching career. I started in the public system and didn't really, I was actually close to quitting teaching. I didn't really enjoy it. So when I came here, I realized the opportunity was there to do what I wanted to do with kids, to teach them in the way that I wanted to teach them, to access materials that I wanted to access, and to present it in ways that I knew would be meaningful to them. So I was excited by that prospect, that there was an openness to learning here that wasn't a traditional approach, and that's why I've stayed here this long too. It varies. I mean, the COVID situation has changed those routines, but under normal circumstances, I try to get here 7:30-ish, start with a workout in the morning. And sometimes kids will meet me for those workouts. I have a basketball group that sometimes comes in, and we do a little shooting around and playing in the mornings before school starts. So I try to start my day with some kind of physical engagement with the kids. And then, or on my own. If no one's with me, I'll just do my own workout. Once the staff start filtering in, they always have questions in the morning, and there's things that need to be addressed, and you problem solve, and you work out ways what the path for the day is going to be like, or the path going forward, not just for the day, and troubleshoot the problems. And then I'll try to get out and greet kids. Sometimes I'll be outside on duties, greeting parents in the parking lot, saying hello. Covering for if a staff absenteeism. And, that's a good opportunity. Being outside and seeing the parents in the morning, that's a great opportunity. Under normal circumstances, I know all of them. I know them all by face, by name. I know every kid. And so it's easy to greet. Under COVID, that has been strained so much. We've really had to make an effort to go, oh, that's the face to that name. That's the, because you don't see them as regularly when they're only on Zoom with their classes. Our VP Andy's really good at that too. He makes a real point of engaging. The rest of the day for me is, it's at that level of planning and looking to the future, finding things that are going to benefit our kids, working with the ministry if we need to, working with the Ontario Federation of Independent Schools if we need to, different things throughout the day that are going to plan and make WillowWood a better place down the road. So that's a lot of my day. And at lunchtime, I try to engage with people. I try to get out in the cafeteria, try to get down to the staff room when I can, and talk to people, see how their days are going, just engage in general. The afternoons are my quiet time usually. Quite often I'll be, that's when I do more of my paperwork and unless there's an issue to deal with. But you know, we have pretty good people to handle the issues here if they come up. So most of the time it's my quiet time in the afternoon. And then at the end of the day, again, get back out in the hallways or get down to the gym or get out on where I can engage with the kids a little more. I try to get to classrooms through the day if I can. That's the hardest thing I find to do right now, is to get into the classrooms. I used to do that way more than I have at the upper administrative level. And then the end of the day is usually that responding to emails, answering phone calls, and talking to parents, and saying goodbye to the staff as they leave. So that's pretty much my day. You know, it starts at 7:30, quarter 8 a lot of the time, and ends at 5:30, 6 o'clock most of the time. That's the day. And you just have to sort of focus on those things that you are grateful for, you're thankful for in your job and in the people around you. And it makes a huge difference to what the rest of the day is going to feel like to you. It varies depending on when they come into the building. You know, you have these general admission times that tend to be in the early elementary grades, then the grade 7, and then the grade 9. That tends to be the entrance points for us. So, you know, a kid that comes in grade 2 or 3, they might, their parents might see it just as an elementary journey for them, and they would leave us after grade 6. There are kids definitely that start in grade 2 and go all the way to grade 12 at Willow Wood. They complete the full journey, and when they leave us, we've been a part of their lives in a significant way for a long, long time. We have 3 or 4 that will be graduating this year that have made that full journey with us. But you know, I think along the way you tend to try to figure out what the path for any kid is going to be, and how to keep as many options open for them as possible as long as you can. So, you know, there's kids in grade 2 that want to be brain surgeons, and by the time they're in grade 8, they want to be journalists. So, you know, and by the time they're in grade 10, they want to go to business school. You know, they're applying to Schulich or to Ivy or something for business. So it really changes along the way, and that openness and that understanding of the evolution of a kid is so important. You see them as a project. You teach them to see themselves as a project, and that project is going to be constantly evolving through their time with you. So whether it's a kid that's really keen on sports and they need that as part of their life to supplement, or it's the dominant part of their life, that's going to determine a different path for them. If it's a kid who's an arts kid that's really, you know, really good at drawing and visual art and graphic design and all those things, is it going to be something they do for enjoyment, or is it going to be something that's their path? That's where they're going with their life. All those things are determined in such minute ways, and by influences in their lives, and by the teachers and how they impact them, and what their parents feel about things. That journey is constantly evolving as you get from you know, elementary to high school. Once they're in high school, our goal is post-secondary education. We're trying to get them, you know, a larger percentage go to university than college out of Willow Wood, but it will vary year to year, and it will always be with thought. It will always be with, what are the things that make up where you want to go? What are the things that are going to make you happy? Is this a step in the journey, this university thing, or is it the end point? Is that what you want to be when you finish? Or is it just to, you know, get more, not just, but it is just to broaden you and make you more of a aware of what you might want to do. And maybe you end up go back to college for a supplemental diploma. You know, that path is evolution. It's based on feedback constantly from everybody that's around the kid, and from their questions that they ask about life and about the path they can take. So. Interesting question, because this year for the first time in a long time, I've had to hire 4 teachers. And there's a good reason for it. Two of them are mat leaves. One is a temporary leave of absence to travel, once we can travel, I suppose. And so it's very different for us this year. It's going to be we have staff that are here for a long time because they like being here and they like working with the kids and they like the atmosphere. And I guess they like how we run things. So, I get that feedback from the staff a lot, that they enjoy the environment of being at WillowWood and the way we work and problem solve together. So staff turnover is very, very low. So I think the best way to answer that is we have a teacher that was a student. So he was here when he was an elementary kid. And honestly, when he left the school he was at before us, it was under pretty difficult circumstances for him. And we took a chance on him. We welcomed him with open arms. He was such a great kid with such lovely energy. And you just knew there was more there than what he had been showing where he was before. And he's just become a great young man. He's a father now. He's got 2 children. Just had his has the second one arrived yet? No, the second one is close to arriving. He's become one of the go-to staff members for the kid who's struggling, the kid who doesn't get why his parents want him to do what he has to do, or the kid that really has trouble with the motivation or the direction he's going in. This staff member gets it because he lived it. And he goes to those kids and he'll give them great advice and he'll give them great strategies for handling what they're dealing with. And he'll support them. And he's got kids, as do I, that they keep in touch with him. He's been here probably 20 years now, and he's got kids that when he first started that still keep in touch with him. I've got a couple of myself that still, they call me regularly and because their life has become connected to the education industry through the school's influence. But to go back to that teacher, he just lives the life of, I was able to employ strategies that people taught me that made a difference in my life and gave me direction and gave me an ability to be successful. And he's the epitome of it. And so, when you've got a staff member like that, and you can set him up as the example to the kids, you can say to them, look at that teacher. He was like you. He had difficulty in life. He had troubles when he was younger, and especially when he was a teenager, and got through with the people giving him good advice, people giving him strategies, and him choosing which advice and which strategies were going to work for him and making them work. And so when you have that example living in your building, it's a really handy tool to have. I think the ones that have just left and the contact with them is fairly strong still. They will come back. They'll talk about their university and college experiences with the younger peers. They'll share their experiences. We'll have some of them that come back and actually do job placements with us. They might come back and do a teacher's college placement, or they might come back and do even a bit. We've had a couple of business placements. We've had a couple of tech placements. They'll come back because they want to stay connected to the school. When we have our annual fundraisers, they all show up. They're all out there. It's a big carnival, and a lot of them will come back and visit. There'll be kids that I haven't seen in 15, 20 years. They show up, and that's always a challenge to the memory at my age. But you know the face and you can't remember the name. But really, I think there's a Facebook group that's well connected. There's an Instagram group that's well connected, and I think there's that sense of, we belonged there, we fit in, we really made it work there, and that sort of communal sense of success ties everyone together. And you've got kids that were in musicals together. The kid could have been in grade 3 and the other kid in grade 12, and they were in the same musical performing together. And so there's that connection of mentorship with when a grade 12 student takes a little grade 3 and says, hey, you need to stand here when I'm singing, or you need to stand, I'll stand here while you're singing. And, you know, that little moments of mentorship that stay with kids forever. They remember, you know, that grade 3 kid's going to remember that grade 12 kid, and that grade 12 kid's going to remember that grade 3 kid. So it's the student who wants to make more of themselves than where they are right now. There's a sense that whatever is happening where they are might not be getting the most out of their potential. And maybe they're not as connected with their teachers. Maybe they aren't as connected with the environment they're in. And when they come to WillowWood, they get this sense of, this is a family, a team, a group of people that are all going to be on my side and find a way for me to be happy and successful. And that's the biggest thing, I think. That's the essence of that team family approach. When you walk in our building, the most common comment I get from a visitor is, this feels like home. And it's a regular school building. You know, we've got a gym and a science lab and computer labs and lots of classrooms and an office. When you walk in the building, it looks like a school, but that's the first comment they make. It feels like home. I think any school has that, right? I wouldn't say anyone specific. I think, you know, the idea that you are the center of a team as a kid, and that team is going to work with you. If you don't get that, it's you and everyone here is there to support you and make it work for you. That's where it will break down at WillowWood. And they don't get it at first, but they get it after a short period of time, for sure. Cooperation, friendliness, making the most out of every circumstance, just a general feeling that there's nothing we can't get past if we all work together and find a way. You know, there's kids that benefit from things like mindfulness and meditation and that whole area of things. And we have a group of people that are dedicated to doing that, and staff that are engaged with that. We have people that are engaged with the physical sports and, you know, all that. And we have people engaged with the arts and all that. It's this sense of how all those things can work together and cooperate together, not just in terms of scheduling and, but in terms of it being a part of what everyone kind of can get out of being at the school, right? That sense of cooperation and understanding is number one here. I'd like to think it's in general fantastic. I think if based on the testimonials we get from parents, they love, you know, I've been getting so many positive things, even through the COVID experience, with parents telling us, you know you don't get to hear this, but we're glad you're doing a great job. We're happy with what's happening under these circumstances. And I think in general, the sense that even if there's a problem, we're going to sit down at the table, we're going to try to figure it out, we're going to cooperate together and look for a path that works for everybody. That connection with our parents is really, really strong. And they know that we have the best interest of their kids and looking to their future at heart. They're not just another number and another tuition that's coming into the building. I think even with the kids overseas, you know, when I've been overseas to China and to Korea and you know, and I actually make a point of trying to connect with the parents of our kids when I'm there. Because it's one thing for them to send their kid to the other side of the world and let people take care of them. It's another thing to meet that person that's doing it. You know, it's made a big difference, I think, to some of our parents. I still keep in touch with a couple of them. Their kids have left, but I still connect with them and say hello and ask how this child's doing in post-secondary. But yeah, it's that connection to the parents is crucial. I would say it's more crucial here than in any other school that I've experienced, for sure. That if we don't have that cooperative relationship, our style does not work. So we need it. And so we cultivate it and we maintain it and we do our best to put it at the center point of whatever we do. Our first approach is always the problem solving. One of the first things I learned in education is there's always three sides to the story, right? The two people involved and the actual what actually happened. And so we definitely sit down at the table. We have people on staff that are here for that purpose, that they provide the opportunity for the kids to say, this is what I experienced, this is what happened. And the other kid to say, this is what I meant. It didn't really mean and really work it out and try to find out what actually happened and to resolve the feelings and the hurt. Having said that, things that go on and continue, you have to have increased ways of dealing with it. The first time you might say, okay, this is the solution. It's an apology. We work it out with an understanding that this shouldn't happen again. Happens again, you have to now, okay, we're going to implement a strategy. There'll be a consequence if this happens again. We'll talk to parents, bring them in, have a meeting, resolution with everybody there. But it's always problem solving oriented, with the consequence being practical rather than hugely punitive. Suspensions and expulsions here are really, really, really last resorts for us. We look to help kids understand where the other kid's coming from first, and if that doesn't work, then we take other measures. I think, first of all, an awareness of the world around them and how people interact within that world. That would be, I think, number one. They'd have a sense of setting goals for themselves, looking to achieve, and then at the same time, understanding that you have to have things that allow you to get there. It can't just be wishful thinking. You have to have strategies. You have to have a path. You have to have achievements along the way to get to where you want to get. I think a sense of a person with a healthy lifestyle. They understand that you have to take care of your body, that you have to take care of your mind, that you have to take care of your relationships, and be part of a community, not live in isolation, which has been really tough during COVID, by the way. I think a sense that that you get people, you get that not everyone has the same motivations or the same background, the same cultural exposure, the same relationships as you do. And those are all going to trigger and configure how you interact with them. And so I think just a general awareness of people would be one of the things that's most important for someone that would be Willow Wood the person. I think it's pretty good. We're on a street with 5 schools. There are 5 private schools along our street and a small residential community at the end of the street. And we have no issues or conflicts along the street at all. In fact, I think we let the community use our playground when they not officially, but it's open and people come and use it when we're after hours for sure. We provide our gym for a lot of the local activities, gymnastics and Filipino Basketball Association plays here. A lot of groups like that use our property. The church next door, the Korean church, we've been in a cooperative relationship with them forever. We let them, we welcome them into our building. They use our classrooms for some of their services on the weekends. And in return, they let us use their parking lot for our parents to turn around and drop off in the morning. So we have a really strong relationship with them that has been there since day one, since they moved in. So the swim school down the street, we have a great relationship with them because the person who owns it used to be one of our teachers here at WillowWood. He was actually my teaching partner way back in the day. The building next door, there's a computer services place that we work with. There's a wine company that we work with. There's lots of people along the street that the basketball facility at the end of the street. We have kids that go there, and they've actually come and helped me with coaching with our team. So, all along the street, there's lots of good people that all work together. Even the other schools, we all have different mandates. There's a French school, there's a Greek school, there's a French elementary school, there's an all-girls school, and we all have different mandates. But when things come up that are crucial to the street, like safety, we all work together, and we address things together. So I'd say we have a great relationship with our community, and vice versa. You have to know going in what you're looking for. So get a few criteria. Know that I want a school that's going to do X, Y, and Z for my child. They're going to do X, Y, and Z for me, and the whole package will be, my way of evaluating which one's going to do the best job for me. If you just go in and look at different schools randomly, haphazardly, you're not going to have the same end result, and you might miss the things. So really think it through. What do I want in a school? What am I hoping to gain? And also, and this is crucial, what does my kid want in a school? What do they want their experience to be when they walk out the door every morning and get on a school bus or get in the car and walk and get to that school and walk in the door? What is their experience going to be? Is that what I want for them? Is that what they want for themselves?
For more information about this school, you can visit their profile at ourkids.net.